Let's build a giant dominatrix. Tyranid Dominatrix, episode 5. If you're wondering what the hell happened to episode 4, it was on the Creature Conference. It's linked in the description below. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do on this tonight. This is another situation where I felt like I was gonna get a lot of work done on this today, and Toronto got buried in snow, like at least 1.5 feet, at least 40 centimeters, probably closer to 50, maybe getting up to 60. So, yeah, I've shoveled snow about 4 times today. Nora shoveled snow about 3 times today. And it's still... we shoveled snow at like 5:30 or something, and then we went in and had dinner, and then I was like, I'm gonna stream at 7:30, and I came out, and I had to shovel the path to my studio, which we had just shoveled, and there was at least 20 centimeters. I guess it might have blown in from the roofs and stuff. Maybe more than 20. Anyway, long story short, Snowmageddon is real. And I should have scheduled this in advance because I have no friends. That's fine. I just want to get some work done. So yeah, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I was like, you know what? If I don't know what to do, I'm gonna do big, hard, shitty stuff that I don't really want to do, which is to extend this thing's tail and extend this thing's neck. That's why I got a bunch of wire here. Got a bunch of aluminum foil. So this is gonna be some like hardcore armature work. A copper wire here. I don't know if I'm going to use that. That's what I've used in the past. But this is like floral armature wire or something. It's really cool in that it's really stiff until you want to bend it, and then it bends beautifully like butter. I think I might save that. I've also got a bicycle spoke here, which is an amazing pin if you can get them, but very hard to bend and cut. But because this is going to be more or less straight, maybe a slight curve to it, I think this could work well. So we'll see what I go with. So I need a pin vise. Got it. Match the wire diameter. Oh, that's almost perfect. What the heck? Let's clear up some room. Out of here. Got my counter going on that I'm definitely going to forget about. All right. So... tail's going to be longer than the head. I mean, tail's going to be longer than the neck. Though I was talking about shoveling snow, lest it be confused for moaning, I love snow. I think it's freaking amazing. And we've gotten so very much snow this winter, which I am all about. So it's pretty awesome. All right, I'll probably wind up using this. So let's find a drill bit that matches that, and then drill a hole for it. That is probably a little too big. Oh, I think I labeled one of these as a spoke. Oh, if I did it rubbed off. Great. These are God Hand drill bits. I got no agreement or anything with God Hand. I just like recommending them to people because though all the bits are a different size, the part that goes into the collet are all the same size, so you never have to change this thing. I snapped off one of these, a very, very thin, fine one that I was not being careful enough with. So I had to use a different kind of drill bit, and I had to change this thing, and I hadn't changed it in years because I've been using these God Hand. And I was swearing blind that it was a waste of time. Anyway, one of those. Let's try this one. They're all measured, so this is a 2.1 millimeter. If I was a real cyclist, I'd know what a spoke's diameter is. That is even still too big. Maybe I just need a 2 millimeter. Oh no! Well, that was my bit, wasn't it? Sugar. The bits are even, they've got the numbers written on them. So, like, that's a 2.2. I know that goes right there. It's a 2.1. Let's try for a 2. This is the set to start with if you get into God Hand, set B. Because you got a 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 2.5, and a 3 millimeter. So that's the broadest range in one set. All the other ones are, like, much finer tuned, like 2.1 and 2.9. 2, I said. Okay, let's see. And if it doesn't match, I'm probably just going to use it. I think that's close enough. If you're a nerd, it's like tessellate, walk into each other slightly. Okay. So, we're going to be putting a neck extension in here. Right about there makes sense. And we get to drilling. This is because the existing Scythe Heirodule has a pretty like thin, thick neck, pretty squat little body. People have referred to it as the Tyranid chicken. Butt up in the air. And to make it more look like a Tyranid Dominatrix, if you extend the neck and extend the tail, it makes it look much larger when really you're just making it much longer. Kind of the big bulk of the body spreads out along those two forward and back axes. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. And just kind of changes the proportions a bit. Man, I think I've never had bingo people on in a stream chat. Too bad. Oh well. If you're watching the VOD of this, the VOD, the recording after the fact, leave a comment for me. Just say anything. Say what your weather was like where you are today. So I know that you caught it. Because I was thinking about not doing this, but really I just need to make this. I didn't stream last night. Gotta stream tonight. Oh, that fits. Groovy. I think I need to seat it that deeply, but tail might need to go a little more deeply because it's gonna be longer. But let's do a little bit. To the end of the bit. Okay. I took my... where's the glue? Here's the glue. Might want to rough this up. It's pretty smooth, but I don't... do I want to bend it before I put it in there? Let's see. So what I've done before that has worked is I've given the whole thing kind of like an S wiggle. I don't want the neck to be just straight. So I've had like the dominatrix neck curve to like the left and then the tail kind of curves to the right. I think I should reverse them because I feel like on my previous ones they go the same way and this is a different one. Let's switch it up. Useful galleries of old models I've created so I can reference them. In 3. Yeah, I think I'd curve them. I think with Marco's I also curved it. That tail looks like it's... Okay, we're gonna do... Oh, poop. The tail is definitely curving. I don't know what I did. It was pretty straight. Okay, let's just YOLO it. So... I'm gonna go this direction. We don't come to regret it later. Oh, geez, getting caught in all my wires. Don't want too much curve, I guess. Look like it's trying to bite its own tail. Where do I want the head to be? I think the neck on it is actually a little longer, but I can't really remember. This head is going to be extended as well. It's going to be a little longer. Right about there. Got it right about under. Cut a little longer so that we always have extra to work with. You need some big chonky pliers to be able to cut these things. Even these are not doing that well. Oh, damn it. This is why I love and hate bicycle spokes. Excellent when they work, pain in the ass when they don't. I thought these clippers were good for this. Oh! Oh, there goes my spoke. I think I spoked it. Yeah, I spooked it. A Space Marine when I need to throw it. Here, spooky, spooky, spooky. Oh! Ah, there you are. Delightful. Okay. Let's see the angle on that. Probably okay. It's a little straighter at the end, but fine. I think it's fine. Let's get some glue up in here. Super glue. There. I'm going to have it tilt down slightly. Turn down. I don't regret that. As far in as it goes. Yep. Okay. And now for tail time. Actually, for tail time, I think I gotta clip this. Maybe I can just. Oh, I want there. Let's destroy Forgeworld models. What do you say? Can't really get these in that close. Ding! Where do I want the tail to go? This is just like the central bar for it. Drill it in there, I guess. Above. I do want to clip these for some reason. Okay. There. Sure, why not? Higher? I do have to like wrap aluminum foil around this thing. I do like it being kind of in line with the neck piece. Yo, Dino Sly! First! You get all the points. Thanks for dropping by, Dino Sly. He didn't know if anyone would. Only Sunday nights are not a good time to stream. Which is weird because like my only like live stream that I like religiously tune into is on Sunday nights. Taking it back. How you doing, Dino Sly? Done any hobby lately? All right, let's get the tail on here. This resin is not that bad to drill. I feel like sometimes it's almost easier than plastic. So first step is get the armature wire in here. Second step is wrap it with aluminum foil to bulk it up. And then third step, if you want to be fancy, is to wrap the aluminum foil with a finer wire to kind of give it a little more structure. And after that, we cover it with some kind of putty to harden it up and make a sculpting surface that I can then add the detail to. I will likely use Aves Epoxy Sculpt, although I could use Freeform Air, what's it called, Dough? Which is one of my, it's a cool little tool that I discovered that goes on kind of like spackle or drywall compound. You gotta like, it's easy to like slap it on with a spatula sort of thing. You mix it up on a flat surface, and it goes on very soft, but then it hardens up like styrofoam, and it's almost like you can sculpt on like a layer of high density styrofoam with this stuff, which is neat. But I've never really done that. I think I've not done significant amounts of slapping that stuff on and then sculpting detail on it. So I'm not really sure how it would hold up. The guys at my awesome local sculpture supply store said that it's commonly used for like backing out, I think they said silicone molds, because you can slap it on the back of the silicone and it gets really, really firm. Like it's amazingly firm for how light it is. Go. All right, so tail, head goes that way, tail will come this way. We get like an S shape kind of thing. I don't know that I want it all curling the same way. Let's see how we manage this. Don't want to curl it too close to the body. I think that'll look awkward. So I want it to come out kind of straight and start working it out here. I mean, I could do like a double S. I could make it like curl this way and then start curling back, but that might start getting... Don't overcomplicate things, Jones. Move fast and make models. Oh, no. Oh, I have my flashlight on still. So though this might not be that exciting in terms of what I'm doing, I think this is going to be exciting by the fact that it looks like a lot got done. And really, it's not that much yet. Because I get the tail and the neck roughed out, it's going to look pretty impressive, I think. Nanosly, doing great. Painting up Gene Stealer Cult Brood Brothers. Oh, such good models. Yeah, that was a bit too much of a kink in the tail. Kinked it now. Okay, neck, tail. They should have a slight curve back. What armor are you thinking for the tail? The tail is going to be scratch sculpted armor. I got actually, like, when I was working on my last Dominid for Charles, I had this moment where I was like, okay, time to sculpt the tail, and I just like put a layer of epoxy putty on it, and I just like ran my fingers down the shape of the tail, and I did like these like indents for the armor plates, and I just went bam, 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 and I sculpted the armor plates on the tail of that sucker in one go. Not the full tail, but like a large portion of the tail was sculpted in one go, and I was kind of amazed with myself for doing it. I don't think I got it on video, but it was pretty cool. I was pretty happy. I was like, did I just do that all in one go? So that's the goal that I'm going to be doing here. They're going to have like, they're not going to be traditional Tyranid plates that just go to like one tip, like a triangle kind of thing. They're going to be like, I call them scallops, but I don't know if that's the right term for it, where they like go to a point and then they come out to another point here, and then they go to like there's almost like 5 points on them. I guess a normal one has like 3 points. It has like the tip, and then it has like the edges. These ones are going to have the tip, and then another thing here, and then down to the edge. That's the plan. Something about this tail is not right. I think it's too straight through here. But good question, man. Good question. I wonder if this is getting a bit long. I can always clip it back. These bike spokes are not easy to bend, but they're very sturdy. So something like this tail that's sticking away out from the body, there's no way this bike spoke is ever going to break. He says as he like breaks the bike spoke. Okay, too many angles. Tail's going up. I don't like that. It's more like that. But I want it to curve more in here. The I think it's a bit long. This way. I said I wanted it straight coming out of the body, but I changed my mind. And a little more. Whatever. Okay, that's good. We're done. Where am I going to cut it now? So I got to remember that if I leave extra on it, I can like embed the extra in the weapon that I put on the edge of the end of the tail. I feel like the weapon part should straighten out a bit. So the neck and the tail is about twice as long as the neck-ish. A little more than. There. That's where I'm cutting it. Answer. Fired that off there. Got it. These are also just like really good for pins. These bits of bicycle spoke. If you just want like a straight, super strong pin. Where the hell did it go? These things magnetic. I got it. Okay, cool. Here's the end. Okay. Is that too long? Because I could cut it at this end. Too long. Stuck it in there. There is going to be like a weapon on this, so keep that in mind. That's going to be embedded in the weapon thing. Whatever. Okay, good enough. But where are the legs versus where's... Legs are here. Is that okay? It's all on screen. So, neck, leg, and the tail is a bit longer, but these are space aliens. Who cares? Okay, I'm gonna cut a little bit off this because I'm feeling paranoid. Hope I don't regret this later. Whoop! Lost my tail. Great. Okay. Let's glue this sucker in so I don't obsess over it anymore. Oh no, is it too short now? No, it's fine. It's perfect. Move fast, make models. Dino what scheme are you using for your Brood Brothers? Is it like a traditional scheme? Did you come up with your own? One of the named ones? Let me know. Glue that in there. No, I want it to be flat. Oh, is that tail long enough? Now it is. Now, I'm never reusing that. But I will reuse this, so I'll save that for later. Because I thought of it, I'll vacuum this crap up. And turn off my mic for a sec. Okay. So, I put baking soda on this stuff. Lock it in there a little more. Now that I've vacuumed, put on some baking soda. Sure, why not? Baking soda makes green stuff set. Oh, no, sorry, not green stuff. Baking soda makes super glue set. There's a little bit of super glue like on the end here that I'm just gonna sprinkle some of this on to try and like lock it in. It's kind of like accelerant, but it doesn't bake your brain with chemicals. It's probably not as potent as actual accelerant, but it works. Sodium of bicarbonate, if you're, you know, English and fancy. Bicarbonate of soda? I don't know, we call baking soda in North America. There we go. Don't know that that did anything, but it makes me feel better about myself. All right. Weapon for the end of the tail, Dino Sly. I haven't actually talked to Linhammer about that. So I should. But it'll likely be like a kit bash of a bunch of different pieces. I don't know that any like existing Tyranid tail weapon would be big enough for this sucker, scale-wise. Like you could just like slap a Carnifex one on there. But when I did my snacking. When I did my Dominid 2 for High Flint Malog, the tail weapon was a Carnifex head. Like the kind of like bulbous. It was a backwards Carnifex head. Like the mouth was here, the bulbous end was here, the armor plates, and then I put like 2 scything talons in it, and that actually worked pretty well. And then when I did the one for Charles, the Dominid 3, it was completely well, it was like there was a plastic hard shape for like blades. It was kind of like a blade weapon. And then I sculpted around that and put like a spike on it. Oh. Aluminum foil. Saved from like some takeout or something. Very good bulking material. Because you can mold it with your hands. Don't want to make it too thick. Because there will be epoxy sculpt added to bulk it out. And of course the detail. So let's see. But of course, once you start smushing it down, it gets small. smart, I would like wrap it around. Oh, geez. Bit of a taper, thicker here, thinner here. Doesn't really matter at this point because the shape is really going to be defined by the pipe to it. Don't want to mess, like there's a curve to this, and you could kind of like fill in this part and screw up that curve shape. This is just basically because you don't want to like waste a bunch of putty on this, on basically just like air. Because you just need to fill this. You could also use foam for this, like insulation foam, pink foam, cut into shape. And I shouldn't be too precious because we are going to sculpt on this. And if I put too much now, it'll cause problems later. So now I'm going to get this really thin wire. I think this might be some kind of like, this might be for welding. I don't even know what it is. I just like procure random bits of wire. I'm going to try and glue this. It doesn't glue well because it's aluminum foil, but I'm going to put some super glue here in the hopes that I can kind of like stick some of it to the resin. Also, I can't remember how thoroughly I washed this part of the resin. Oh well. I'm gonna goober it on there. There, like that. Yeah, a lot of the wire I have, I just like, I don't know, procured it from places. Usually like my dad's like toolboxes. Or like I'm in what used to be my dad's workshop. Or it used to be a garage and he used it as a shop. And then I fancied it up slightly and turned it into my studio. But he's just got random wire kicking around. So I think this might be like welding stuff. I don't know. Well, what you're gonna do is you're gonna wrap this wire around something where it can get a good anchor. Probably up here. I don't want to go all the way to the end because I want space there to be able to drill that into the head. Just get a good grip. Then just take it and do some of this. Just to strengthen the aluminum foil, kind of to keep it in place. Also make another texture for the putty to grip onto later. Not glued very well. Just like reinforcing the aluminum armature. This is twisting around. I can fix it after. Oh. Yeah, it's not even glued. The super glue does not. The super glue, it does nothing. I didn't give it much time to cure it too. That's my fault. That's pretty good. It's totally not secured down here. But I guess I could just do that with some putty. Okay. Flip this off. Find somewhere to bury the end. I guess I could sprinkle some bicarbonate of soda in there to try and better secure the end of this. Look from the side. It tall. Screw it. Where's my white powder? I don't know if this is even going to do anything. It'll make me feel good. Well, I could do the old artistic glob more of this on and then glob on the powder and hope the good things happen. Okay, bloop, 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 bloop. Blobbing it around the base of the aluminum foil. Smells great. Okay, and then get this out of here. Come in here with our little bicarbonate applicator. God, that super glue smells so strongly. Oh no, I touched it. It should harden up pretty quick. But you can, if you're worried about it getting near paint, you can just like brush it after, like let it fully set for a couple hours or whatever, and then come in with a dry brush. Just brush away any extra bicarbonate of soda that may have not been in contact with super glue. Yeah, that's pretty secure now. Sweet. Okay. Oh, Radon's here. Oh, Mall Ninja's here. It's a party. Look down, look up. Everyone's here. My theme for my cult is Cult Hydraic. White spacesuits. Oh shit! I gotta do something with this camera. I turned off the motion. Oh shit! Bear with 1 moment. The video went away. I swear it's gonna come back. Give me a second. I gotta. Oh, that's what I want. Gonna turn that on. Okay. There. Let's see if I can get my video back. Bear with. Here's the thing. Hey. Let's go Camlink 4K. Yeah. Okay, it worked. All right, we're back. Now, when I bump my table, oh, it's still shaking. Right. I was looking at the chat. Oh man, I love the white spacesuits with orange clothes scheme. It's really good. That's awesome. They look great. Oh, Mall Ninja, you're saying this looks great? Thank you. It was pretty rough work, and mostly because once this guy's in here, you're barely going to be able to see it. You know you're a professional when you spend a great deal of time perfecting the sculpting of an area that no one's ever going to look at. Or at least that's what we tell ourselves. Oh, hi Radon, thanks for joining us. Donald Sly, I don't know if the Stone Crusher Carnifex shoulder hooks would be too big, too rare. Use as a tail weapon. I would use those as a tail weapon if I didn't have only one pair of them. And despite not being into the Stone Crusher Carnifex when it was actually new and available, I got the like FOMO nostalgia vibes and wound up procuring it after the fact. And I gotta build it as a Stone Crusher because it no longer exists. So I gotta do it right. Okay, now let's do the tail. There you go. Radon has confirmed it's soldering wire. I thought it was soldering wire or something like that, but thanks. So I should hit this with a soldering iron, and I'll totally fuse. All right. Tail time. Boy, Diana and Tom, good to see you, friends. Oh, Tom, I just finished watching the last Stranger Things on Friday? Thursday? That thing at the end was very Tyranid-y. I thought so mostly when they were like inside it with like the spires and the kids. But then once the final thing happened, I was like, oh, someone likes some Tyranids. And you can't exactly be late for a party that I never scheduled. Like, I scheduled this party like at 7:50, and then didn't actually get online till 8:15. I gave very little notice, but happy to see you all. All right, more aluminum foil time. So we need more bulk closer to the body and less bulk further out. Make sure I don't lose my own designs here. lose the shape of this tail. This is the only finicky bit is that the aluminum foil slides around the wire. Of course, it doesn't really anchor onto it. If you were like a true professional, you could like put some super glue on the wire or something like that to try and better anchor the aluminum foil. But we're just moving fast and making models, so we'll get what we get. And like you can do that, and it's going to be a bit of a nightmare because then you're probably going to get super glue all over your hands. So it's not necessarily worth the added stress of trying to perfect it when you can just figure it out later. Okay, this is obscuring the shape. I pretend that I'm going to save this detail. I'm probably going to sculpt right over it. Okay, bulk should be a little higher. Tail. Oh, I just shoved my fingers in some super glue. Good times. Not green stuff, it's super glue. Probably put a little more bulk here. Should. Because I do want the tail to taper, but not quite that much, because there's going to be a big honking thing on the end of it. Well, I don't know, a big honking. There's going to be some kind of weapon on the end of it, so it might be a little thick here. Oh, now it looks too thick down here. Fantastic. This foil is moving all over the place. Not connected in here. How thick it is. Shit. I should just stick some soldering wire on it and call it a day. Even try to glue it here. Because, like, even if I try to glue it there, once I get, like, a layer of epoxy sculpt on there, it's going to firm it right up and secure that attachment point. Screw it. Let's do it. Go to the tip, because that worked well last time. Any fine wire will do. I previously used copper wire, which is probably wasteful, but whatever. I don't know how much soldering wire costs, but it's what I got. I'm crisscrossing it and stuff. Try and make it more sturdy. No real art to it. No real math to it. Just randomness. So I'm going to need to bulk up this end, and I'll do that with more putty. Because I don't have as much oil on there. Oh, there we go. I can, like, attach it on here with wire, theoretically. Okay. Good eye. See about hiding the end of this. Doing it in there. Come on, get in there. Good for your home. Okay. Still kind of molded a bit. Oh crap. Just moved. Go. Right. There's the rough shape. The thing. I should get some putty on there before it starts moving. Where are we at? Hello, hello, overlates. Rough work looks better with the guy in there. Oh, cool. Look, there's a guy. He's like, yes, this is going to be excellent. My biological robotic wheelchair. Oh. Tom, what did you think about Stranger Things without spoiling it for anyone who hasn't seen it? Let me know. Okay. Get some putty up in here. No need to mess around with green stuff. We can just fill it in with epoxy sculpt. Where are we at? Hi, Dan Kaplinger. Thanks for wishing everyone warm in the cold. It is very cold Toronto tonight. And very extremely super snowy. No, I just use epoxy sculpt. I should do anything different. It's fine. You guys. I don't need this wire. Ah. I haven't had like some kind of floral wire here. Painted wire to use. Not. Oh. Fish out some epoxy sculpts. Oh, yes. Thank you, Radon, for the reminder that I put green stuff in the snow for the last stream. I should go grab it and see if it's still viable. Oh, and it's covering up with snow out there already. So, on the last stream on Friday night, Creature Conference, I took this green stuff and I flattened it out. And I stuck it outside because it was like -15 on Friday night, and left it in the snow. Since then, it's now Sunday night. I don't know if it's still going to be viable because it's melting, it's drooping. When you put green stuff in the freezer, it's usually best to use it like within a day. It's been very cold out there, or ever since I put it out there, but I also didn't put it out like as soon as I mixed it up. So let's see if this is viable or if it's even sticky anymore. Oh, it's feeling kind of tough and leathery. I don't know if this is going to be... Yeah, the way it's tearing is not a good sign. Had I used it yesterday, I think it would have been fine. But because I left it for 2 days... Yeah, I think I could try putting this on here, but it's not going to stick. Not feeling very sticky. So I led you astray. But it is the case that if you mix up your green stuff, you realize you have too much, and you immediately put it in a freezer. Don't wait for like 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then you use it like later that same day, or use it the next day, it should be fine. This is no bueno, so I'm going to get rid of it. But thank you for reminding me about it. Let's mix up some fresh epoxy sculpt. Abe's epoxy sculpt. Let's get you out of the way. I think I'm getting low on my A. Fill this up. Oh yeah. Oh damn. Getting very low. With the amount of putty I'm gonna need for this sucker. Don't want to mix it all up at once because it gets hard. It gets difficult to mix. Part A, part B. This stuff works like green stuff, but it's cheaper in larger quantities. So perfect for really big stuff. And you can also combine it with green stuff. That green stuff that I just threw out was like 60% this, 40% green stuff. Or maybe 70% this, 30% green stuff. Okay. Guys out of here. That's that. I need a... Keep this in glass jars because it keeps it fresh. Same thing with my green stuff. Airtight glass jars. Because plastic can react with epoxies. No matter what plastic you're using. Well, I guess if you're using like a Nalgene. Also, I use wide mouth jars that aren't very tall, so it's easier to get down to the bottom. I say that, but I was trying to fish the blue part of green stuff out of one of these the other day, and it's kind of old, the blue stuff, and it was tough. All right. Abe's epoxy sculpt differs from green stuff in that when you mix it together, there's a little bit of silt that comes off of it. So I keep water here and a towel so I can rinse the silt off and dry my fingers. I'm mixing it together. But otherwise, it performs very similarly to green stuff. Not as direct a indication that it's fully mixed, because when you mix, of course, green stuff together, you get the green to show you that it's good to go. But you go. Tom Wilson said, I love that. Oh, I love that thing. I'm assuming that's the thing at the end of Stranger Things. That's very Tyranid. Interesting that you 100% done away with the original tail. You're going to use it as a capillary tower. Yeah. When I made my first and second Tyranid Dom, I cut these sections and then I added sections in between and still used the original ones, but it's more trouble than it's worth now because, like I was mentioning earlier, I can get the top armor plates sculpted pretty quick. Like, I did it all in one go on the last Dom I sculpted, which was pretty happy making. Oh, damn. I forgot. I think on the last Dom, I left the tail separate, but move fast, make models. Do it all in one go. Do it all together. Don't leave it separate. But yeah, the tail is a very good capillary tower, so I'll probably use it for that. Tom, I agree that Stranger Things had a few too many endings. I feel like Stranger Things had a few too many characters. I feel like they should have killed off more of like the main characters to make it feel like there's more like consequences for all the stuff. And that they had fewer characters to have to like have them all have screen time. Someone screwed it over for me where they described that like the final season of Stranger Things is like there's one main quest that you want to see what happens, and then there's all these side quests that are kind of like mandatory because they got to fill in the time for all the different characters. Oh well. My favorite part about the final season of Stranger Things though was the very last ending. With like the person going up the stairs and then all those people blow past them to go down the stairs, and then they're standing on the stairs watching them down to the bottom of the stairs, and yeah, I thought that was cute. I'm a sucker for that apparently. All right, mixed. Now we're just gonna do a thin layer to cover this to reinforce it and to make a layer that putty will more readily stick to. At this point, because I'm not doing like precise sculpting, I can probably do it with my fingers, and I could probably just use water to lubricate it. I'm going to use Nivea because Nivea cream. It's oh, we got Roxville on there. And because Roxville sent me this. This is German Nivea cream with the cool pride colors on it. I'm pretty sure it was Roxville sent it to me. Yeah, apparently some people say that they've watched many of my videos and they weren't paying that much attention. They didn't know that I was always using Nivea to lubricate my tools because it is amazing. And when you use it on putty, you can basically like paint the putty around because the Nivea makes it so smooth to work with. And the best part about it is that it doesn't leave any residue on the, like once it's cured, it doesn't leave any residue they have to wash off. Vaseline is a very common compound for lubricating sculpting tools, and if you're not careful, Vaseline will leave a oily film on your miniatures that you have to wash off after. No one likes having to wash the miniatures after they've sculpted them, so that's why I use Nivea. And also because like I started using Nivea first, so I never had a need to explore Vaseline. And it moisturizes your hands. How fun is that? And yeah, so I'm just getting some Nivea here on my fingers, like smoosh this putty around. Get a rough shape, make sure I'm covering all of the aluminum foil and the wire with it. Probably need a little more putty. Getting a little bulgy there. Out of here. Okay. This part. Yeah, and it's ridiculous how helpful the Nivea thing is. I will tell people that it will change their life, and I don't think they believe me, and then they go and they use it, and they're like, oh my gosh, it changed my life. I'm like, yeah, told you. It's a very small thing with a very outsized impact. Yeah. Getting there. More. More. While I'm doing this, I'm trying to make it not that thick so that when I sculpt detail on it, it doesn't get too big. And I also trying to kind of pay attention to the shape that it's in. Like, see how it's like, I'm probably going to sculpt over this, but see how like there's like a kind of raised bit here. I should probably be making this like a raised bit, and then like these parts kind of like pushed in a bit. It's all going to change when I sculpt in the final details, so shouldn't be too precise at this point. Move fast, make models, right? Don't want any awkward shapes that I guess I could always carve it away later, but screw it. A little bit of extra work. continue this ridge, whether I'm going to preserve it or not. At least a substructure of a ridge that I could use. Okay. That's where I'm not going to do the thing where I'm like, oh, I'm just sculpting a substructure. Oh, dang, I went and sculpted the model. Done that before. Okay. This water out of here. No. Grabbing my style. Okay. Job's a good one. Okay, let's oh, there's a weird bulge there. Knock that down. I'm gonna smear this at the bottom to kind of adhere that aluminum foil. Although this is the part where I put the super glue, so I might have more trouble with this one shifting around, but we'll see. Okay, so that's like a rough. Curve. All right, let's do the back. Oh no, the wire's coming down. Let's start there. Of course, I'm like, I'm going to preserve this detail, but I need to like smear this in there to lock the tail in place. Don't have to worry about putting my fingers in this putty because it's not the final layer. Yeah, this feels loose. That's not good. I probably should have put super glue. But it'll do its job. Let's get some tool action in here. Okay. And hi-yo, welcome. Okay. Little moving. Don't move. Be a jerk. I know I was moving fast and making models, but don't be a jerk. So if I was being a responsible human being, what I would do is I would make sure that this all cured before I added more to the tail, because I really need it to like lock down the tail, that it doesn't shift while I'm working on it. But we're moving fast and making models, so we'll see what we do. I do need to mix up more putty. Continue. But I think I am, so... Dominatrix is basically a giant dinosaur. Basically channeling some Brontosaurus, Brachiosaurus, I don't know, Asaurus, Ankylosaurus, my favorite. We were channeling those vibes. Immaculate dinosaur vibes. Okay, more putty. I could have just mixed this all up last time, but it would have been a lot to make. I don't know that I need quite as much as I did last time. Really got to remember. I got to remember where I put my putty, I think. Okay, go. Anybody else have the problem where you always use like part A, part B, right? I got this much part A left. I got that much part B left. Anyone else have this problem? Or is it just me? Mostly I have it with green stuff where I think I always wind up with more... I can't remember if it's more yellow. Blue, but... It's gonna be fine. Okay. More of this than that. That's maybe too much. Good enough. Oh, Tom says, that's funny. I always end up with not enough of one part of my putties too. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only. Leave these out because we gotta refill them. Radon says I like using the Aves orange epoxy. Yeah, Aves has different colored epoxies, which is fun. My buddy Koska made, I think he bought orange epoxy to start with. He loves orange. I tried the pink epoxy once, but I think I got a bad batch of it. It was like already kind of curing. And it was annoying. So I'm like, haha, I'm gonna use pink epoxy. And then it gave me a bad taste in my mouth. Not literally, figuratively. Oh, crap, I need water because I'm... Oh, shoot. This thing died. It's an old phone. They haven't been dead for that. What's up? That's looking suggestive. That green stuff work is premium as hell. Sad I missed that episode. And that was Friday, I think I did that. So it's on the last Creature Conference stream if you want to check it out. And to get your head out of the gutter. Suggestive as hell. It's a dinosaur, all right? Dinosaur. Dinosly, I don't think we talked about Huron Blackheart's crew. I maybe mentioned it in passing. I love the idea of Renegade Space Marines. I think they're cool. It's too bad that Renegade Space Marines are just like, it seems like they're just chaos by another name. But I've always liked the idea of Renegade Space Marines. I was always curious about Euron Blackheart and his crew. I really like that his crew has a good mix of like Xenos, humans, Space Marines in it. I think that's really cool. Oh yeah, I think we talked about this before because I said that I've always been a big fan of like a ragtag crew for a command squad. Like a command squad that's just like, I have a command squad. It's 10 Space Marines. A couple of them have some special weapons. Like that's boring. Like I like the thing they did for Titus where they made like Titus's crew and there's all kinds of like weird dudes in it. And then like of course I love the Dark Eldar, Kari, Archon's Court, which was like had a bunch of different hangers on that you could assemble the court out of. And then they had the similar thing for Beastmaster, Dark Eldar Beastmaster, where he could have like a bunch of different beasts in his crew. But apparently Games Workshop doesn't like that because they're cutting all that stuff from Dark. So it's cool that Huron gets a cool crew, weirdos. And of course I love that the weirdo crew includes Xenos creatures. And I'm glad that they finally made a model of a Tyrellian dog soldier. Tyrellian? I don't know. I only ever read it in a book. I never pronounce it. So yeah, I think it's great that they did that. Fantastic. And then it's got that little like hyper violent whatever thing that is going to turn into like a big hyper violent. Or is that the Bargacy that you're talking about? Or is the Bargacy like his little pet dog that's on his base? I'm not really sure. Where's the actual Bargace when I need? Yeah, so I think it's great. I think it's awesome. More weird Xenos hangers on and like mercenaries, please. That would be amazing. Give me the Tau Xenos mercenaries codex. It's just it's just an excuse to make cool models for a bunch of different mercenaries. That would be amazing. Okay. So I'll cover it up. More. Again, using Aves Epoxy Sculpt here. It's just like Magic Sculpt. If you can get Magic Sculpt in your area, easier, because I think this is easier to get in North America. And Magic Sculpt is easier to get in Europe, possibly. Go with Magic Sculpt. But I got this stuff. My local carries it. So I use it. And I've been using it for, oh god, decades? Started using it in about, oh god, I'm old. 2020, 2008, 2007, 2008, 2006. I guess I could look back at the pictures. I'm an old man. I've been using epoxy sculpt for 20 years. Pioneered in the Tyranid community by someone by the name of Hive. I don't remember if he went, I think it was Hive Trigon. I don't think it was Hive Fleet Trigon. Ed Forte, he was once featured on the old Games Workshop website because he sculpted a Trigon from scratch, and it didn't look exactly like a Games Workshop Trigon. It was very much his own design on one, but it was super impressive, and I think he mostly did it with epoxy sculpt. So he joined Warp Shadow. He put us onto epoxy sculpt, and then dearly beloved late friend Ross Nickel, commentator, Warp Shadow moderator, and personal friend of mine because he lived close to me. He bought epoxy sculpt from Sculpture Supply Canada in the west end of Toronto, and he put me onto it. And yeah, the rest is history. I think the first dominatrix that I made, Tyranid Dominatrix that I made for Ross, was one of my first times really using epoxy sculpt. And then I went on to use it successfully when we did the Toronto Games Day 2008, Toronto Games Day 2008, Infestation of Cast Event Prime board. It was like we made like a whole infested Tyranid board. And that was where I used a lot of epoxy sculpt. And that was actually the first time that I sculpted a bunch of armor plates straight from scratch. And I kind of forgot how to do it until I came back and did Charles's Tyranid Dom. So this tail's pissing me off because it's got all different, like, widths on it. It's like thick and thin. Not good. I can fix it. Partially because I screwed the pooch with the aluminum foil, but whatever. Like I said, if I was a real professional, I would have just, like, anchored the tail first and then come back and done the rest later, but what are we doing? Moving fast, making models. This part needs to be bulkier. If I can inch some of the putty back towards the body. Budget. Push this towards the tail. I want to leave that stump there so I can pin it into the eventual weapon that we put on the end. Let's see. bit of shape in there. Bottom. Oh wait, I gotta look here. Is it so thick? Build it up through here. That's aluminum foil, so I can't like cut it down. If it was just putty, I could just like carve it away. But it's pretty tight on the foil. There's gonna be armor plates here. Down. I think I should probably let this cure before I go any further. Oh, I've only been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes? That doesn't feel like enough. But I think that if I start globbing on more putty now, I'm going to cause problems. Build. So I should be smart and not do that. Let it cure. Come back. Add more later. Actually, there is a chance that I could be streaming tomorrow night, because Nora is out doing important things. So maybe I shall stream. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Cool. I don't have to do this. I'm just trying to maybe get a little bit of substructure detail here that will work with what I want to try and sculpt on it later. Simon Egan, quote unquote, sculpted these things. He mostly carved them from wax, and he got some really cool textures that I still to this day don't really know how to replicate. Like this kind of tendony stuff can be challenging. I think what I'm gonna do. No, I do need to bulk it through there. It goes in and then out. That's silly. God, that's wire. This thing twist? Or did you twist? Oh, the shape is, I think the shape's kind of cool. This out to kind of widen it. Extra putty here that I can do that with. It's matching the armor. Tail. And the body. Just get that in at a lower level than those. Swore I was not going to start sculpting the model. Just doing substructure. That is tough. On that line. Through. Rough shape. Oh, sorry. I'm starting to run out of steam. Also, I'm starting to try and sculpt the top detail on this, which is not a good idea at this point. I don't have enough putty. I have to mix more. Just gonna get frustrated. But at least I've got some guides when I come back and do that. Yeah, because now I'm like, oh, it doesn't look that good. Oh, I gotta adjust it. Not a good idea. Yep, I'm starting to obsess. Kind of neat, though. If I have enough putty to do anything. All right. There's Rider Boy. There's Rider Boy. I'm going to get a good picture of this because it's so long now. Oh my god. Freaking shit. Hey, Rider Boy. There's a big gun. Oh. More putty. More white stuff. Cannon in there. Piss me off. So fat. Gotta bulk this. Cannon. Okay, we got Rider Boy. We got Cannon. Where's sexy lazy boy? Psychic lazy boy. Coming right up. I don't touch the P with the attack. Psychic lazy boy. Cannon. I didn't include this, clean this, did I? No. Yeah, didn't wash this and this doesn't stick to it. Okay, well, whatever. We'll just like shove this in here. Nope, that's not gonna work either because it's not clean. Get those scythe tally arms on here for fun. I didn't clean them either, did I? This is not the final arm placement necessarily, but you know, fun. All right, there we go. There's the start of our Tyranid Dominatrix. There's the full body shape, full body size that we're going to be working with. Damn, I maybe should have made the neck because I want to like move up the arm placement. Like I don't want an arm here because it's too close to the leg, but maybe I'll figure that out. Pay no attention to this messed up tail. It's going to get better. I hope. It has to. I got to figure out a way to fix it. But there is roughly the size that this thing is going to be. Head over here. Over here. It's going to be a big boy. Big girl. She's going to be a big girl. All right. I think that's all I've got Steam for this evening. So I'm going to call this. It's going to be a short one. Thank you for everyone who joined. I guess I should have a look at the chat before I Fully sign off. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Go. It's giant. What are folks saying in this chat? Talking about Become Blackheart. Only an issue with green stuff. Yep, with all three of them putty. Oh, talking about using one part of the putty and not the other part. Oh, oh my god. Bet he just scraped them. Darius, that one slipped through. That one slipped through. Yep, Bargasi is the dog-looking thing with the dog soldier. It's a Xenos that the Iron Lords and Iron Hand successor have been trying to quarantine. Keep away from the Tyranids. Building the new Necron Adamantar into a seahorse. That's cool. Lovely throne. Thanks, Panda. Gonna be a good one. Okay, Tom, good. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for the reminder. 15%. Okay, so Tom is suggesting we got to do a thing, chat. We got to say what percentage done this thing is done now. And like 15% does sound epic. But Hydra got me worried because how do you describe it? He's like, you don't, oh no, it wasn't Hydra. It was Symbio Joe got me worried because he's like, you don't want to do the birthday card thing where you start like drawing the letters on a birthday card and you write like a big giant H and a big giant A and a big giant P, and then you realize you've got very little room left. So the next P and the Y gets smaller, and then the B, I, R, and like it gets so much smaller. So what he was saying is like, don't overshoot your percentage done on this DOM early on, because then you're going to have to like have little tiny percentage increases at the end because you don't have enough percentage to like accommodate progress, blah, 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 blah. So he freaked me out with that. And yeah. God, I'm really worried about this tail now. Symbio freaked me out a bit with that. So I don't want to go too high. So Tom is saying 15%. Diana's saying 14%. Diana, thank you for reminding everyone to like and subscribe if you want to continue to monitor my progress on making this thing, as I will be having more live streams relating to it. So yes, make sure you like this video, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and you can catch all my live streams that way. What do other people in the chat think in terms of percentage done on this sucker? Tell me what you think. Something I'm going to regret later, putting a ridge in this. God, why is this tail so fucking... Might have to, like, cut away stuff here. Really bothering me. Oh, Nora's giving me a call. All right, I think that's it, friends. 17%, 14%, some steps bigger percentages than others. Thank you, Tom. I will announce the percentage later. Gotta talk to Nora. Thank you all. Have a good night. Bye. Great. Talk to you later. Adios. All right, people are saying 14 to 15% seems reasonable. Okay, maybe I'm gonna go with 14. I'm gonna jump up to 14. Thank you all.